The text tells the story of Isaac as he grows old enough to be weaned by his mother, and they have a feast to celebrate. Sarah becomes indignant when she sees Ishmael mocking Isaac. She tells Abraham to cast him out. The feast becomes chaotic in an instant. Hagar and Ishmael are cast out. This is because God allowed it. We can see that God does not treat everyone equally, but gives different graces depending on the position given. People say it is discrimination, but the Bible speaks of a just God, who treats with distinction. We learn 3 lessons from the text. First, today's fruit is the result of the seed sown in the past. Why does Sarah tell Ishmael to be cast out? It is because of the sense of crisis that the inheritance that should go to Isaac could be taken away. However, this was something Sarah brought upon herself. She could not wait for God's time, and took Hagar, her maidservant, as her concubine. However, when she gave birth to Isaac, she changed her mind. Yes, today's misfortune is the result of the unbelief I sown in the past. Galatians 6 verse 7 says, "Do not be deceived, God is not mocked. For whatever a man sows that he will also reap." Second, God does not give up on seeds that were sown incorrectly. What happened to Hagar and Ishmael, who were driven out into the wilderness by Sarah? People around them must have said that their lives were over. But God is different. God takes them. He gives them a spring of water in the wilderness and raises Ishmael to be a good archer. Why did God raise Ishmael? Because Ishmael was also a creature created by God. Matthew 5 verse 45 says, "For he makes his sun rise on the evil and the good, and sends rain on the righteous and the unrighteous." God cares for all of his creatures. Third, rather than asking why, live a life of praising. However, Isaac receives special blessings and grows up as an heir in his father's house. Psalm 92 verses 12 to 13 says, "The righteous shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon, they shall be planted in the house of the Lord, they shall flourish in the courts of our God." Ishmael grows up in the wilderness, receiving the ordinary grace of God, the Creator. However, Isaac, as a descendant of the covenant, receives special grace and grows up. Those who are critical of the church criticize this as a discriminatory God. However, the Bible explains that it is the result of God's absolute sovereignty and providence as the Creator. It's no one's business. The Bible warns, "Who are you, O man, to answer back to God? Should the thing formed say to him who formed it, 'Why have you made me like this?' Does not the potter have the authority to make out of the same lump of clay some pottery for special purposes and some for common use?" Are you God's covenant people? Praise God's special grace. Are you not yet a covenant people? Then come to the place of the covenant people. The Bible promises, everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved.